Are now ancient history. Tonight it's the Minnesota North Stars as the Islanders try to bring home their second Stanley Cup in a row. Len Berman is live now at Nassau Coliseum for Game 1 of the finals. Len?
Well, Roland, as you can see, the ice is quiet. The only people in here are ushers and the vendors. The players are all here, but the fans won't come in for another 20 minutes or so. Game time 90 minutes away. The Islanders I saw coming in were very confident. I spoke briefly with Mike Bossy, and he told me where a couple of years ago the Islanders might have been overconfident had they gotten past the Rangers. That wouldn't happen now 2 years later. They're a much more mature and much more confident hockey team, and they know the task at hand. I don't think this is going to be a sweep the way it was with the Rangers. Don't expect 4 straight games as it was in the Parkway playoff. A couple of reasons. Number one, Minnesota is a good hockey team. Take a look at Dino Ciccarelli, their outstanding rookie. 11 goals a record. They have those Dino the Dinosaur dolls that they wave out in Minnesota. But here they have something better on Long Island. It's called the Stanley Cup. Remember this scene? Nearly 1 year ago now on ice as the Rangers knocked off the Flyers in 6. As for a prediction this time around, 6 games sounds good. It will not be as exciting, one beer salesman tells me, though, because it's not the Flyers. But it is the North Stars. Let's go with 6 games, wrapping it up a week from Saturday night in Minnesota. Back to the
What's
studios.
the line, Len?
Lines, Jim? We don't betting. I don't. What are you talking about?
All right, Len. Water, what's the line?
Well, tonight the Islanders are goal-and-a-half favorite if you want to go in goals. I was just thinking, you know,
Yes.
people talk about long seasons.
Yes.
Do you realize both the North Stars and the Islanders, counting the exhibition season, regular season, the playoffs, they both played over 100 games already. Season started back in September.
When did they start
exhibition
practicing?
Season. Well, the exhibition season, you figure September, this is May, that's 8 months.
A long season.
You know, so, by the way, the Islanders have won 14 of the last 15 games in the Nassau Coliseum. All right, watching Jerry.
Midway through the third for a 2-1 Islander win. February 7th at the Coliseum, Bobby Bourne gives the Islanders a 5-1 lead. Late first period, but Steve Kristoff scores in the final minute and a half of the game to get a come-from-behind 5-5 tie. February 23rd, Minnesota, it's Butch Goring opening a 3-1 lead right here. 4-1 the final, a game that had its testy moments, but for the most part...
Pope having been shot, but hopefully now recovering. And as you know, the Pope was quite an outdoorsman, very much an enthusiast of the world of sports, particularly skiing. And I'm sure that even in view of the magnitude and the tragedy of the event, that certainly he from his bed would not mind at all to have you and others like you to talk about that world he loves so well too, the world of sports.
I hope so. It is a little awkward.
Yes, but I think it's understandable that it can be done.
All right. Changing the subject just for a couple of minutes here, the Islanders made it 15 out of 16 in the Nassau Coliseum last night, almost unbeatable at home, and beating the North Stars. You realize the North Stars are the youngest team in the National Hockey League. Each player averages 22.5 years old, and they also have the least amount of experience in the National Hockey League, just about a year and 2 months per player. All right, let's go to the videotape of last night's game, first period. It was really all over right here. 2:54 in, Caller on the tip-in from Langeman to make it 1-0. 12 minutes later, Billy Carroll of Brian Trottier having a great playoff series, 2-0. Trottier behind the net to Caller, and it was 3-0 in the first period. In the third period, it was 5-2. Langeman with the shot, Merrick on the tip-in, 6-2, and the Islanders won the game 6-3 with game number 2 tomorrow.